How's it going, everybody? So, I have some AZEK 3/4 that I have ripped down. Took me quite a while. You can bevel this edge, and we have this on a 16. That's a 20. And what I'll do, put some sealant Loctite in there and just a little tiny bit here. Make sure that stays waterproof. This is pressure treated anyway, plus it's sprayed with like 3 or 4 coats of Smart Primer, which is a hybrid acting as an oil. And then we have waterproof vinyl plank over that. And this is for the toilet. We had to lift the pipe because the main drain for the septic is too high. So we had to do both, shower and toilet. But it's better than the whole floor, in my eyes. Let me know what you think in the comments. However, I figured I would bring you guys in on this so you can kind of see how I do it. Now you see a gap. It's because I forgot to deduct or add this 1/4 inch like an idiot. Anyway, if I went with my measurements, I'd have been fine. But I went and flipped it backwards, traced it, and then went and cut it and didn't. Anyway, so I'm going to put 1/4 round, little 1/2 inch PVC 1/4 round in front of that. It'll go around this, it'll go around this, and it'll go around this. And it'll look really, really, really nice. Now, I know that I'm outdoing myself. However, I'm getting it done. Either way, I'm getting it done. Just gotta drill this out. My knee is right blown to pieces, so I'm trying not to get on my knees. I got hit by a car when I was 18. It sent me about 16 feet backwards with my feet about 10 feet in the air. I only had 2 feet, but they were 10 feet in the air. Knocked my shoes off, knocked my hat off. Yeah, threw my foot completely out of socket. It was hanging on the right side and my knee was popped out of socket. So really messed me up. I had an ACL repair. It wasn't that great of a, it was not that great of a physical therapy. So I didn't recover as wonderful as I could have, I guess. Is what I'm trying to get at. Therefore, now I'm a little older. It's about 15 years later, 17, 18 years later. They said I was going to need a new knee 10 years in, and I've lasted this long. That doesn't mean I'm trying to last as long as I can. I guess I am, just for self-preservation, because I have to work to live, because I'm living on the lam, basically. I wasn't raised with a silver spoon in my mouth. It was stainless, but it weren't silver. Anyway. No qualms with anyone that was. I'm just saying I can't really afford a surgery right now, so we're just making do with what I have. Making do with what I have. So I would use AZEK screws, but I really can't, because it's so thin. I had to rip it down to almost a half, probably less than a 1/2 inch, to be honest. And of course, I just made one hell of a mess. But we have goof off, and it needs to be sealed in anyway. So now I'm just giving it a 1, 2, what for? Setting the 0 second Loctite power grab, all purpose, 0 second grab, which means basically anything you put to it, it'll hold it there and then glue it there. Almost acts as if it's like a Marine 5200 in a way. Really good stuff. Okay, we are ready to seal it in. Let's see if we have nails. Good, we do. So my lower nails I'll hide with my quarter round. Plus I want to make sure that it's tight down there. I really don't need any nails on the top of this. So I'm just gonna knot. For now, at least I can tack it later. But I will clean up this mess. As you can see, a little sealant. Now watch. It's almost magic. Rag. I should have goof off on it, but I don't. Just going to take the pointy edge of my 5-in-1 with a rag. I'll use the rest of that in the other areas. I just want to clean it up really. I need a little goof off. It's out here. Okay, this stuff here. Sorry about that. Pro strength. Be very careful. This will wipe off vinyl off your seats. I mean, it'll wipe everything off. Right down to plastic. So you gotta be really careful. It'll take whole layers of paint, whole layers of lacquer. I mean, it's just very unforgiving. Okay. Now we're getting into the goods. Alright, that's pretty well clean, and I do see too much movement, so I'm just going to tack it. There. Now it won't move. And this piece is in. Now you can see I've ran some actual lines to find my angle. How I do that is I'll take a board like this, hold it there, alright, let's get you guys over here somewhere. Make sure you can see it. Okay. Make sure you're good. Okay. So take that. And that's flush against the face of my board. Then I'll take this board. Now this doesn't matter what size it is. It could be 15 inches wide, but you have to use the same board or boards of the same size. And I just use one. Put it here. Make sure your face flush all the way. Just how the board's gonna sit. You wanna mimic the board or use the same board if you want. Take it, push it against this. I'll take my pencil and mark. And I do the same thing, put it here, and mark. And I'll find the angle, which is this point right here where the wood's gonna meet. So I figure out where that board stops touching the wood. And I mark right where these two lines that I made cross. So I'll put my pencil on that line, right on the X. And then I'll go right over to the angle. And I make my line. And this is my angle that I have to cut. So you can take your bevel square, or, so like I'll grab my bevel square real quick. And remember, you can wipe that pencil off so many different ways. Now, of course, this is vinyl, so there's different scenarios. You may want to use a piece of paper or tape, or I don't know, but you can get your, I could use the goof off, wipe this right off right now. Or you can take your Stanley and erase it, right? Or you can just take a rag and wipe it off, whatever you want to do, but we'll wipe those off with goof off once we're done, because I always clean my AZEK off really well with the goof off and a clean rag. So you can take your bevel square, put it up against it, right? And you can do this if you want. You just make sure that your lines are perfect. Tighten that up. And you can bring that, transfer it onto a shab board like this. Make your line. Take your speed square, put it on your pivot point, put it nice and parallel to, and it's showing that's a 22.5 degree, which is a very common degree. It's literally half of 45, which I did. I split the 45 in half, right? So that's 22.5. Now, or you can literally just bring your board up, cut your board long, whatever, bring your board up, put it against your wall like you're gonna, or whatever. This is very different because this is a base. It's a lift up. It's not a wall. You can treat it the same as a wall. And then, so you put your board up, get a straight edge, and all you do is just transfer that line on to your board. But you want to make sure your board is actually sitting the way that it would. And as you can see, I have my line there. Now, I cut this board a little long to make sure that I wasn't messing up. And I'm glad I did. Actually, no, I need to bring it down a little bit. Like this side, I did cut my line off, and that's why. Because, so this was just a rough cut to get it there to make sure. And then before you install, you make your cut for guarantee. So I got to bring that back, shave that down a little bit, and then I'll do the same thing that we did for this side. And then it gets a little hairy. It's a little hairy. It's good to know this line, this angle, so you can just put it right on the chop saw and you're there. So that's the best, most accurate way, because the board can warp and all that. But it can also do the exact opposite and warp after you've done this. So I just like to get actuals, especially with this, because I've already made an L channel with the bevel off and it's all messed, you know, it's different than just a flat flush board. So I'll set you over here. And we'll get this side figured out. And it's looking like I need to go give it a quick shave. I can bring you with me. Okay, so I have this piece here to make up for the thickness of my 1/4 inch lip. So so that the board cuts perpendicular. Okay, where is it? So I need it up here. Yep. And I need to shave a little off the inner right there. Done diddly. So, and it just wants a little more of an angle. Okay. Remember, we got all kinds of leeway for this because this goes in my casing, door casing. Way better. Okay, so now I'm ready to run some sealant. Make sure that no water will get in here. Plus, we're making sure that our trim holds nice and firm. Now you want to be careful spreading this around because you don't want to go too thin. You end up going too thin. I'm sorry. If you end up going too much on one side and not enough on the other, it will lay uneven and it'll throw your angle off and it just won't sit flush, which ends up being a bad deal if it's not sitting flush, and it's going to break over time. You can see I'm just putting a little bit of sealant on top, and that's keeping that lip nice and strong. Just grabbing a tube of sealant here. My knife. With this, it's really thick, so I don't mind cutting it a little heavy. I don't mind that at all. But when I'm doing trim, like sealing in stuff like this and that, well, that's got to get sealed in big time. Anyway. Oh, and when there's a white plastic that it looks like this, you don't have to poke it. You don't have to poke because there's nothing there to poke. It's just sealant. Only if there's a white tube with a white head. Unless it has threads. If it has threads, you got to poke it. Or if it's cardboard with different colors, you got to poke it. But this white tube is so strong and waterproof and airproof that they don't put that extra feature in because they don't need it. Just gonna put a little on this seam here. I need to cut that a little more. I always go shy on my cuts. You never want to go too big when you first start cutting these because it will turn into a problem or you'll just end up wasting a lot. So now I'm going to kind of like grab it like a Cookie Monster. I'm grabbing it from this side and kind of peeling backwards. That way I'm grabbing everything that it has to offer. I can't sit on my knee. I can't use my knees because my bad knee is really, really inflamed and sore, and it's crunching and cracking. I need a new knee bad. Now I need a surgery. I don't know what I need, but I know for a fact I need to get a surgery done because my ACL and meniscus disc was completely shattered. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and give it a good tack. Make sure, first one, make sure that it's gotta make sure she's set. And it does look nice. So now I'm pushing down and towards the wall. Alright. And she's wanting to bump backwards a little bit. Let's see how bad that is. That's alright. We can cover that. Unfortunately, this one isn't sitting perfect, so a little more nails don't hurt, I guess. So here we go. The initial, just kind of, this is 0-second grab, so it does dry really fast. And the goof off actually evaporates really fast as well. But when it's nice and wet, it really does do a good job. Like almost too good sometimes. So you gotta be careful what you're using it on. Okay. That nice wet goof off in there. Clean that up. Lovely. Oh yeah, that's starting to swell up bad in the back. The rear part of my knee down and back in here. It's starting to swell up. It's one of the first signs when it gets really bad. Oh, I can feel my knee completely out of socket. It sucks. It really does suck. All right, let's get short side measurements. Lengthwise, we could probably, how's this? Let's just go take how much is that? Ooh, let's Let's hope we get the rest out of this one piece. My blade ended up hitting it when we pulled back on the table saw. Me, Squanto, when I pulled back. Because it was all me, I tell ya. Working my arse off. I may have to make a new piece, but a small piece is fine. It's just when you have to make a big one. But yeah, once that fell, it was the end of the day, one of my last cuts, and I pulled it off and laid it down. Really, I didn't, but it's just so flimsy that it laid down on by itself. Okay. We're gonna take every bit of angle we can out of this. Oh yeah, I'll definitely need it for at least one of them. That sucks. Probably both. But we have the stock here, so I can do it. All because of this. Son of a gun. All right. How did I do that? Right on the line. I hope I didn't cut that too small. Try to be a hero, wind up a zero. Looks pretty damn good. There and there. Maybe if anything, it'll be a little heavy. Okay, so she's a little tall here. Just a shy there, so it's a good 1/4 inch. All right, well, let's go cut it out. Okay. I don't want to scrape my finish on this. Oh, and I made it wrong. Okay. piece. I'll admit that cut was horrible. Oh, it's Super Bowl Sunday, so I'm trying to hurry, and I shouldn't. Yeah, I gotta take a little off this. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'll just... cut a little better, and now we're in style, absolute style there. Okay, just a little heavy on that transfer though, really. Okay, so now I have that piece that I can get an actual on this. We'll go 7 to kick it off. This was 22 and a half. Are they all 22 and a halves? It's the last one I had. Yeah. 22 and a half. Cool. So go 7 on 22 and a half degrees. Unfortunately, I don't know if there's 7 inches there to take because of this. There would have been enough. Oh. Left my tape measure. So on a 22 and a half, 7, that is just barely enough. Okay. Now, let's see what we got here. Wonderful transfer there. Now let's see what we got here. This is a little long, remember, see how far it is away from the line. Now, what I can do is make this line and get this actual. We'll cut that, and then these two will flow right together. You gotta make sure that this is perfect on the other one as well, and you're holding it the way it's gonna want to sit. Any straight edge will do. Just gonna transfer this line. I'm gonna go a little long. So you always wanna make sure you're just going just a tiny bit long. You can always take a little, but you can't ever give it back. So there's my line. I'm just a hair off of 22.5, which happened to the other one. Just a heavy, little strong. So I'm gonna bring it over at just a 1 degree. And I'm gonna take about a 1/4 inch. We're getting close. Take a little tiny more off. So I'm giving it, it's almost to 25. Okay, we're really close now. Really, really close. Looks like it wants more, but we'll see. We'll see. So you see I have a perfect transfer right there. And I bring this side too. Make sure that that's sitting right. Now let's just see. Is it gonna... One second here. I think I need 2 things. I'm just gonna hold that where that is. I need to take a little off of this. Just a hair. So we'll just... Okay. Bring this into this angle. this set nice. Okay, I'll be right back. Come on now. Stop playing with me. Okay, I just had to change the angle for warp, and it's looking like I can install this corner piece now. Yeah, just touch it up a little. Coping it a little bit, making sure that it actually copes together well when I nail it. So I'm doing a fitting process right now to make sure with pressure it's actually going to meet up well on both sides. Okay, there's really no, it's not like a race, you just got to be really patient. Okay, that's it. Now, basically, let's see what you can see there. Yep, you'll be able to see. So basically, you see this gap. I'm just gonna fill that in really well with this. It'll act as a waterproof barrier. Now, for all the guys that freak out about expansion, I am too, okay? I get it. I don't want this to expand any more than anyone else does, so it sucks, but it's a necessary evil. So this is a rental, so I'm really just making sure that we don't have any problems in the future with this specific lip. Don't want this trim to break. And when I replace it in 30 years, I hope that it lasts 30 years. Now, when I replace it, I understand I'll have to basically cut the whole thing out. It won't come easy. But, like I said, it's a necessary evil. And what I'll do here is I will literally pound any caulking out that I don't need with my block. I just need to make sure there's enough there so I can get a good set. it going too far in. As you know, with copes, you want them face flush. Yeah, I want a good waterproof barrier right there. Okay. Now I'm just putting the rest of that sealant right on the board that it's going on. I don't like to waste too much of that. Man, I really think that needs just a little more right there. Give me a little window to apply this in without going too far deep. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Who am I kidding? I need to sand this off just a hair. Yeah, that's right. Come on. Okay, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. I mean, it's a good set and all. It's just not exactly what I want, but there we go. That's it. Okay. That was really good for that. All right. So, look at that. Just look at that. Just look at it. It's so perfect. Okay. So I'll leave this one because I haven't made this angle perfect yet. I will, but I haven't yet. So I'll go home, get all my stuff. Oh, I gotta clean this mess up. Get all these pencil marks and sealant out of the way, because that is all done. Okay. There, some sealant got in between the crack there. That wasn't good. All right, this is definitely over over the line for sure. Really, what I'll do, just to find the natural angle, I just traced it. It is standing pretty square. We gotta get a good read on this. How much is this? We'll go 7 again. It's 6 3/4, but we'll go 7 again. Well, we gotta take this down. So you may want to go even more than 7. This thing keeps falling and it's really bothering me. Okay, where are we? We want 22 and a half. Oh, forgot I had to throw it off level there, or off square. So we got to... I'm almost to the pencil line, but that's fine. Probably gonna have to take the pencil line off because the pencil rides on the outside of the line. But this will give us plenty of perpendicular angle direction here. Let's see what we can do with this gash. I don't know if it's gonna allow it. And that's just too thick. It's just too thick. Let's see if this will go. This looks much better. Some of these pieces are thicker than the others. All right, here. Nice and square. That was a good grab. Good grab. Pull 7 inches. Sorry, tape measure. I am so sorry. Hey Rob, I'm on YouTube right now. How you been?
Good.
What do you think? Should I make a whole new board because of this line? I have a little trick that I can show you to make up for that. Excuse me. All right. So that does kind of look a little silly. But once I fill it with PVC, no one will ever even know. So we know now that that angle is way off. That to 0. Okay. Oh, and we gotta take a good 1/4 inch off the whole kit and caboodle. So I'll get my angle. A little better. It's gonna go right back to where we had it, but almost to 25. Okay, and instead of taking off this side, we're gonna take as much as we can off this little cut here. But I also have to cut this down about 1/4 of an inch. And it's a small piece, so I'll just eyeball it. Okay. Almost done, Rob. All right, so we have our long piece. We have our short piece here. And you can see it is still a little long, which is absolutely fine. I'll just keep cutting down until let's just check this. Ooh, those are sitting really pretty together. Wow. So we know this right side is perfect. So I'll just keep, wow, I got a lot to cut down. Holy Moses. We may actually get away from this scar. Look how long of a, that's like a 1/2 inch. And that's almost a 1/2 inch. So what I'll do, before I get too boned up, I want to make sure I'm sitting flush on the floor. And I'm not pushing down. So I gotta take just a little more of this. Okay, and that needs to be cut down a little more before I get too serious. Get my shim. Go into it. We'll go into a 26. It looks like 25 even. Okay. Now we're just looking for length. And before we do that, we have like a 1/2 inch there that we can shy away from. But first, I need to be responsible. Now that I know everything's gonna flow on this angle, I need to make sure it does. And the only way to do that is to install this. So I have nothing there, but I need build up there. Okay. So we're gonna add some waterproofability. Okay. Now we're gonna, whoa, big old air bubble. Build that up a little bit. We need to make sure there's plenty there so that I can set it down into place and have no worries. So now I'm making sure that water will not protrude in the captain's lip. Okay. We want to make sure this lip is nice and strong because it already inherently is weak. PVC is rigid, but it's so thin that a human body, if it catches the sole of your sneaker or something wrong, it could have really bad outcomes. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to grab what I laid down, peel it back, and I'm going to smack that in until I'm nice and flush. That wasn't very good for it. We don't want sealant in between the gaps because then it won't allow it to seal in and cure. Tight, airtight. Paper thin. Okay, so we're just gonna take cut in a little too much, but that's okay. I don't want to go overboard. And in and down. In, down. And tack, and tack. Okay. Rob, do you mind grabbing that? I need a Red Bull too. Okay, so again, just gonna clean. Get all this up. I'll even clean my pencil marks because I don't really need them anymore. Oh, thank you very much. Okay. Now it's down to the lone wolf. This little bugger. And as you can see, them angles are looking really well. This, I think, tucked in a little bit when I nailed it in. But we'll see. So, we're always going to cut off the other end. We gotta see how much we need to cut. Quite a bit. We got almost 3/8 of an inch. A good 1/4 to 5/16 that we can cut off of that scar. And as I said, the angles are really looking good. You just got to shorten it up some. Still hitting the floor, but I want it to, especially right there. Wow, my knee is taking a really, really bad turn. So we have our angles set already on this, which is really good. Yeah. Now you see we still got about 1/2 blade, but I need to check my vertical angles now, perpendicular angles, and I'll sand them into perfection. Because remember, we don't have much material here, so the sander will really do a really good job. And it's looking like my right side did go in a little too much, so I'm going to have to sand. Just barely touch it now. Oh yeah, way better. Okay, we need a little more. That's really nice. Now this, I'm just gonna go cut it down. It's looking perpendicular, so it's looking like we have it in the right spot. Okay, barely touching my pencil line now. It's barely touching there. Let's see what we got. Now I could force this in. Okay. Okay, that's it. Right there. Okay, it's do or die now. It's over. Tacking her in. And I just gotta check how much. Well, I know how much because we can see it right there. Ceiling behind that, so that don't move. Ceiling behind that, so that don't move. Get underneath here, so this is waterproof. Give this the same thickness that the others needed. Give it a little extra waterproof ability. Clean her up. Throw your scrids on the board that you're using. Try to grab as much. Nope, that ain't gonna happen. Okay, I'll just peel it back some. Put it in there. Okay, the rest I can clean up. Okay. Okay, now angle check. Just need a little off this edge. Okay, now just clean her up. Clean it up, buddy. Get all that good sealant out of where it don't belong. Okay. Now I can see this angle fell in just a touch. that nice and strong. Okay, now I do see just a tiny ergonomics problem, and that is the top of these, especially this one. This one's fine, but this one isn't. So beautiful. Yeah, I need to go home and wrap my knee up because my knee is really sore and I have worked very hard. But if just look at that knee compared to this one. I know it doesn't look bad, but that's a lot. It's very, very swollen. So I may even need steroids for it to stop the swelling. However, thank you for watching. If this channel helped you at all, if this video helped you at all, just please like and subscribe. It won't hurt at all. And you'll be able to see the updates on this big apartment, 2-bedroom apartment that I'm making. I'm in down East Maine. I work hard. And this is basically my life's commitment, is starting to build houses. And I came from nothing, so got to start with already built houses and make them better, and then sweat equity and etc. and so on. However, this was an empty room when I moved in here. There was 3 poles holding the center beam up. That was it. A lot of stuff in here, but there was no walls, no nothing. And now I have basically a built out apartment. Next, all I got to do is build a couple of drawers and doors and install my cabinets and plumb both the sinks out. The shower's already plumbed out. The toilet is basically plumbed out. I just got to add the valve and the pipe. But we have shelves built everywhere. Got some nice finial. I'll have to mud some areas that happened as I was in construction, during construction. What I did was I sanded everything and did all the outlets. After I did the mud, the drywall, the mud, and then I primed everything over white. And to get my electrical boxes out where I needed them, we had a problem with that. I had to fit them in and make sure that they were perfect. So to do that, I had to do the covers, so I left the covers on. I'll take them off when I'm ready to paint again. But as you can see there, I have some drywall I gotta fix in there. But there's little screw holes some places because the guys at Home Depot told me the wrong height for my rough opening. When I called them ahead of time, I specifically called those guys, and he was an Australian guy, and he had like a problem. He's like, "What do you mean rough opening?" And I was trying to be as nice as possible, explain as much as possible. He came back and he told me an extra, I think 2 inches too tall. He got the right width, but he didn't get the height right. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Share with your friends. Hope this helped. Main Man Squanto. Catch you at the next step.